Thank you for staying with us. It is still mainland 98.3 FM, the sound of Lagos. Time check is 8:43 a.m. It's time for Mainland Focus, and that's the part where you, our dear listener, you get to be a part of the conversation. Today, we have just one focal point that we're going to be looking at, and of course, that is the conversation around Dangote Refinery and the Nigerian oil sector. Whatever it is that's going on, either between federal government and Dangote or between the regulators and Dangote, we're going to be dissecting it this morning on Mainland Focus. And we're just looking at it from all of the revelations, all of the back and forth that we've been seeing between Dangote Refinery and especially the NMDPRA. What are your thoughts? What do you make of all of these things, and how can we resolve the issues in the Nigerian oil sector? A lot of this, back and forth has started quite a while. It started from, Dangote speaking out as regards the fact that he has not had access to crude, and that the fact that some IOCs, were, making things difficult for him. And then, the federal government responded, the agencies of the federal government rather responded as well. And then more recently, sometime last week, Farouk Ahmed, who is the chief executive of the NMDPRA, that's the Midstream and Downstream Regulatory Authority, also, said some things, said quite a lot anyways, and highlight of what he said, that's Farouk Ahmed, highlight of what Farouk Ahmed said was the fact that inferior products are what Dangote is churning as regards the quality of the products coming from the Dangote Refinery, the fact that Dangote Refinery was not yet licensed, the fact that Dangote Refinery was 45% completed, the fact that Dangote Refinery was in a pre-commissioning stage, and so many other things. But focusing on the inferior product aspect now, Dangote Refinery, hosted the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Honorable Tajuddin Abbas, and also some members of the House of Reps recently, where they brought in some samples for testing because Dangote Refinery has a lab. And Dangote Refinery came up with the conversation around the fact that these people have been saying quite a lot, and then he tried to speak back, or he responded as regards the fact that how do you know the quality or the content, the sulfur content of my product? Which lab did you use to test it? And he told them, I have a lab, come and test it. Or you can go to any lab you have and test it yourself. The back and forth is quite a lot. You also have the fact that Farouk Ahmed said, we have to continue to import so that Dangote will not have monopoly of production. And that also caught quite a lot of Nigerians unawares at some point. What exactly is going on? I thought we all thought that we're expecting the reactivation of the Port Harcourt refinery by August, the Warri refinery by December, and the rest by God knows when. And that's what we've been getting from the NNPCL for quite some months now. But the back and forth is quite a lot. This said this angle said, the federal government said this, regulatory is saying this, NNPC is saying this, marketers are saying that, Dangote is saying this. So in all of this brouhaha that's been going on, what do you make of it? And how can we, or what exactly is the way out, or how can we resolve the issues of the Nigerian oil sector? We listened to Kelvin Emmanuel, who also brought to light the fact that even if crude is available to be given to Dangote, we still can't afford to give it to Dangote due to the fact that we have some arrangements already that, borrow us money, we'll give you crude. We have that arrangement. We also have oil swap arrangements. So, and then we also have, the fact that we are not even meeting our OPEC quota. We also have the fact that we are not even, able to produce as much crude as we should even produce normally. So there's just a lot to take away from this. There's just a lot that's going on in our oil sector. And it's very, very important for us to have this conversation because at this time now, Nigeria is heavily dependent on oil. That is almost like our major, source of revenue in this country at this time now. And a lot of people had hoped that Dangote Refinery was going to be some sort of messiah in that particular sector and relieve us of so many things. All right. But with Dangote's, revelations, with Dangote's lamentations in recent times, are we really getting closer to some sort of resolve in the oil sector? that is the focus for today, and we're going to be looking at it from the angle of the Guardian newspaper. The Guardian newspaper also reported, we took the story from the angle of the Punch earlier on. So let's see what the Guardian has to say, because their headline is quite interesting if you look at it, saying Dangote rejects monopoly, claims halt in investment in the steel industry. Before we even go deeper into that one as regards the steel conversation, let's still see what we have in this, because now the report coming in now is Dangote is looking at, okay, if they say I'm monopolistic, I'm willing to sell the refinery to NNPCL. They should come and buy it and then do the business themselves. I don't mind. I'm willing to sell it, because at this point I think he has gotten frustrated to the point where he has completely thrown in the towel. Some people were even, I don't know if you know that some people were trying to do some sort of crowdfunding, trying to support. I don't know how that works, but trying to support. Oh, don't give up. Let's see what we can do.
Are you going to crowdfund crude oil supply? The man he's not talking about
it's not money.
Lack of money to buy crude oil. But what he's saying is that it doesn't make sense for him to build a refinery in an oil producing nation and cannot get crude oil supply. That's what he's saying. How do you build a refinery in an oil producing nation and then you're going to other parts of the world to buy crude oil? That's the conversation. He has his money to buy the crude oil. He just wants it to be supplied locally. That's what he's saying.
Well, Dangote
doesn't really make any sense to begin to import crude oil. Yeah.
He has officially thrown in the towel. He said, and I quote, "Let them, that's NNPCL, let them buy me out and run the refinery the best way that they can." He's willing to give up ownership of this to the NNPCL as regards the fact.
Since they are talking about monopoly.
Since they are saying, yes, since Farouk Ahmed said, we're not going to allow for monopoly so that they will not distort energy security. What was that thing they said?
But they are enjoying monopoly of importation of petroleum products.
And we talk about the irony of the fact that the largest exporter of crude cannot supply the largest refinery, single plant refinery in Africa or in the world, crude. That's just the irony of it. But Fuad, let's get your thoughts so we can open up the phone line.
No, I've said quite a whole lot during the trends in the paper, and I think whatever Dangote has said as a response to those statements from the NMDPRA report just captures it all. It's very unfortunate that we have people who are hell-bent on maintaining a status quo that is killing the nation. And I think I'm just going to say that until we have a complete revamp, what I call, a complete restructuring of the Nigerian oil sector, especially when it comes to personnel, who are the guys managing the oil sector. I think we need to have new sets of people who are going to be more committed to nation building. We need to see the government also stepping on toes. That's if the toes does not even belong to people in government. But again, something has to happen. It must happen now, because the time for that thing to happen is now. Unless you're going to be on this same cycle of failure. It's unfortunate, really, something has to happen. The leadership of the Nigerian oil sector has to change. I'm sorry, from the NMPCL to most of the regulatory agencies. We need to begin to find a way to change the outlook for them. That's number one. Number two is that, look, we have to support Dangote Refinery. It must not fail. Whether we are able to buy 7.2% or not, the reality is that, look, it just makes sense for us to have a refinery in the country that started the sixth largest oil producing nation in the world and the largest in Africa. That's number two. Number three is that, look, we must ensure that those other refineries of government start working. We're not just going to be relying on promises, vague and empty promises. It has to work. It does have to work. And so all of those vague timelines they keep giving to us, they must be accountable to Nigeria and standards. They are not bigger than Nigeria. They are not bigger than Nigeria because they've been so lucky to find themselves in position of authority. Does not mean they are bigger than us. Whether we like it or not, they are holding our resources in trust for us. And so they must be accountable to us. And so when we ask critical questions, that is exactly what we are saying.
Thank you.
So this is the time for us to begin to press their neck, to begin to do the right thing and get more accountable to Nigeria.
Thank you very much, Fuad. I appreciate. I mean, there's just a lot to take away from this particular one. And for those who probably want to have further conversations as regards the protest, because I know that's also, hot on a lot of people's lips. I think Okwe is going to be treating that much later on today in the Situation Room. It's going to be with Steve Aluko by 4 p.m. So we'll be looking at, protest and all of that. So it's something that we're definitely going to be looking at. But for this morning on Mainland Focus, let's see what we can what resolve we can get as regards the Nigerian oil sector. The phone line is open, 0913-6000-410. That is the number to call. 0913-6000-410. Please do well to stick within the 2 minutes time frame. But before then, we're also live on Facebook and YouTube at Mainland 98.3 FM. Live on Facebook and YouTube, Mainland 98.3 FM. So you can drop your contributions via the live chat sections. We'll take them as the show progresses. We also have our WhatsApp, channel. That's on 0913-6000-430. 0913-6000-430. That's the number for WhatsApp. So you can drop your messages on WhatsApp as well. This is Mainland Focus on Mainland 98.3 FM. You are welcome. Time check is 8:54 a.m. Hello. Good morning.
Yeah. Good morning.
Please turn down the volume of your radio set.
Good morning. Mr. Farad, good morning.
Can you turn off your radio set, please?
Done.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm Engineer Ladapo speaking from
Surulere.
Yeah, Shomolu.
All right, Engineer Ladapo.
I had my own quota more than 2-3 occasions. Engineer Ladapo. You see the way the system running on this country. All the other countries, they have seen us as only somebody that is killing 100 naira and is wasting 1 million naira. That's the type of the system of government we are running in this country. And it should be a shame from A to Z, our attitude. That what are we going to leave behind? You see, there's a country borrow money and they are taking about 55,000 barrels of fuel every day. And they pay about 12% of interest on more than 10 or 11 billion dollars. You see, more than 35% of our foreign reserve. And we are owing more than 200% of our foreign reserve. I'm a small scale businessman. I started my own business with 200 naira 23 years ago. I have a stock worth about 4 million naira now. But I make sure I have balance, not imbalance every day. But you can see the system of the government we are running in this country. God will bless this country and God will bless Nigerians also. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Appreciate Engineer Oladapo sharing your thoughts this morning. Hello, good morning. Hello? Okay, I think we lost that one. Hello?
Hello?
Yes.
Good morning, Madam Sandra.
Good morning.
Good morning, Robert Ford.
Is with us, carry on.
Madam Sandra, I have a lot to say, but I will not even say much. But what I want to say is that this is my first time of calling this station concerning all this policy stuff.
What's your name then?
My name is Joseph.
Joseph?
Joseph Walker from Odessa.
All right, please go on.
Every day morning, I tune out to this radio station. The only person that made me continue on to the radio station to listen to all news is because of Robert Ford. I've not seen him before, but the way he analyzes things to me, the way he analyzes all the government policy things to me, I really even could this to that. I respect him a lot. Because of Robert Ford, I made me to be listening to this. Our government, the way they run things to us, we are not happy. We have somebody that is refining. We have the largest refinery. We have the largest business for us now, for us to work, bring our own crew down to our own country, so that things can be fine for us. For 2 years, we have the cabal that okay, this cabal that they don't want that refinery to work. Then what are we going to do? And we have the youth now. We want to protest now. We want to come out to protest now. And now we are hearing about the military people, the military, the soldiers now, they want to come out for what? Come out like In Nigeria now, we are not scared. What they did to us in Tūģeģe, let me just say in 2020, we are not forgetting. We want to come out and protest. We are tired. The masses are suffering.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Joseph. Yeah, I appreciate it. All right. Well, let's quickly take some Facebook messages that we had during Trends in the Papers. You're welcome into the studio, Fuad.
Thank you so much, Nando.
We have here Benjamin Osise. I think that's Benjamin from Shogunle saying, "Good morning, Sandra. In Nigeria, the more you look, the less you see. The truth about Dangote Refinery is yet to be heard. If Dangote Refinery is not yet licensed, why did President Buhari come?" I think I have an answer to that one. I think I'll take it later and I screenshot it somewhere. Nigeria is beginning to see why government doesn't want to repair our refinery. They delight in exporting our crude to make dollars to share. It's all about cabal in the oil sector. Not until the masses rise up to say enough is enough, the lamentations will continue. And that's Benjamin from Shogunle on Facebook. I also have here Afiz Adebayo. Good morning. Sandra and Fuad, kindly provide solution to this palaver. We Nigerians, we need your opinion. It's okay, we are coming. We'll share it very soon.
With all we've said, eh?
Thank you very much, though. So we're still live on Facebook. Do well to share your thoughts. Those were just messages we took during Trends in the papers. So we had to just read them out now. Let's go back to the phone line. 0913 6000 410. Hello, good morning.
Oh, I'm there.
Prince Wise, please
Good morning
tell
to you,
us
Lady Sandra.
Good morning.
Photo so much now. I'm going to be order.
All right.
Mr. Fuad, morning to you.
Good morning, sir.
God bless you all. Bless your management and bless my beautiful country, Nigeria. You see this morning, we are looking for the cartel, the mafia. I will not see them clearly now, nowhere to hide. And when you say, who are those people? Number one, mafia we have in this country that will make our refinery not to work is a versatile up to date. They are in the house of NMDPRA. What are we talking about? You are telling Nigeria, a company built by Nigeria, borrowed 19.something billion to build it, not billion naira, $billion for that matter. Number one, they won't go give this man high blood pressure. Not those that shoot a gun that kill somebody now. Not those that throw bomb that kill somebody now. Nobody that who work outside that kill somebody. You can kill somebody silently with all this that's going on. They want to kill the refinery. Have you forgotten? Thousands of people are working in that company. Our jobless graduates are working. They don't want to throw them in the labor market. If they kill the refinery, and they were telling Nigeria, they don't want Dangote to monopolize this and that. Okay, it is the next thing is to import fuel to the country. When you take away crude to a country, they produce different type of about 16 products to the country. Oh, those cartels that are eating our money, they are there, Mr. President, the boys now your call to do the justice and let you be kept. Oh, okay. Let me stop here because
it's okay. It's okay. It's all right. Thank you very much, Prince Wise. Hello, good morning.
Sandra, good morning.
Gege Joshua.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
Why do you? Good morning. Let's hear you.
Okay. See, imagine I have some robbers in my gate now. Instead of me calling the DPO, which I have his number on my phone, I'm calling Mainland FM. Oga Fuad, please come and help me. Some people I am in my gate. They want to attack me. Will you consider me normal? You are a member of Presidential Economic.
Wait now. Before I say whether you are normal or not, even if you have the DPO's number and you call Mainland FM, it's possible that you may have called the DPO and you didn't pick your call. So you look at
no.
It's not impossible.
Instead, I just gave you the scenario. Don't edit it.
No. I told you know what you said. Wait now.
No. According to your,
I have not called
you said
I have
wait
not
now.
called the DPO.
Okay,
no,
you are now saying you have not called.
Now you are giving
but,
that.
But wait,
I have not called
not to preempt you. You are trying to say that Dangote should have spoken with the president. Do you know whether he has spoken with the president?
I have not mentioned any name. I have not mentioned any name.
All right, go on.
Hold on. Carry on, Gege Joshua. Let's hear you.
We are hearing you.
I have the DPO's number. Instead of me calling the DPO directly, that's also in my gate too. Please come and help me out. I'm calling Mainland FM. Please come and help me out too. And I have the DPO's number.
Okay.
I'm a member of presidential economic team. Instead of me calling the minister in charge of that particular industry,
Okay.
I'm calling the press. I'm on the press shouting every day, and I have his number. Are we? These people are they? Do they want to frustrate Nigerians? No. Is this what we should be talking about now? When people are hungry, we should be talking about, okay, how do we elect good people into government? We are here talking about one man's business.
He's more than one man's business.
The man came out and told us that Nigeria, we don't even have 20% stake in his business again. It means Nigeria has almost nothing.
Wait.
7.2% is still a lot.
Out of 20 billion.
Joshua. It's one man's business, we agree. But there are thousands of Nigerians working in that refinery.
Tell this man to call President Tinubu is the minister.
How do you know you're going to call the president?
I have a question though. So, we are crying out against nepotism. We are crying out that, they show favoritism to Dangote. So Dangote now is directly facing the regulators, and you are encouraging him to boycott these regulators, boycott the process, and go straight to the president. Is that what you're saying?
My in-law, this is what I'm talking about. See, this man has the influence of reaching out to the minister.
Okay.
The minister who is the president of the country, the minister of petroleum.
It's okay.
And he has his contact. Let him call him and resolve
and
this
order him.
and stop disturbing us with on top of this matter.
All right.
It's none of our business. Let him go and resolve this issue.
Okay.
There are so many other people facing challenges in their businesses.
Thank you, Joshua.
You guys are interesting.
You see, thank you very much, Joshua. I appreciate. But there's something I've been holding myself against, highlighting since. But I think I just have to bring it up now. Look at this, Fuad. Do you remember Nigeria Air? Mm-hmm. Do you remember Air Nigeria? Mm-hmm. Do you remember Nigeria Airways? Mm-hmm. Do you remember Eleme Petrochemical? Mm-hmm. Do you remember Ajakuta Steel Company? Mm-hmm. Do you remember Nitel? Mm-hmm. Do you remember NNPC before it came NNPC?
Yeah.
Do you remember MTEL? Mm-hmm. Do you remember NEPA?
NEPA,
do you remember the Presidential Air Fleet? All of these federal governments, did they choke them? Should we say they choked them?
No. You see, Sandra, again, when
because a lot of people are likening it to what is going on with Dangote now.
When Gege Joshua started the analogy of there's an armed robber in front of your house, and then you have the number of the DPO. I knew he was going to say, look, it is a man that has influence. But again, sometimes we assume some of these connections and influences. Government is a bit complex and complicated, really. And we are saying it again that whatever is making Dangote Refinery to speak out the way he's speaking out, this is a man that rarely talks, he rarely grants interviews. He's done more interviews in 6 months than he has done in the last 40 years. Means that there is more to this issue. And so we should not just assume that, look, because he has the number of the president access to him, all these issues will be resolved. The regulators, Sandra, the IOCs, the people in the oil sector, this cabal, the president is not the only one that can resolve the problem. We will have to get the resolve of every Nigerian to put their feet down and say that, look, remember, this cannot continue. Even
when we were talking about subsidy, Gege Joshua, we mentioned that even the president needed to have spoken with major stakeholders before making that decision.
That pronouncement, yeah.
The president doesn't have
all of the powers you think he has, really. Because again, these are investments, these are complicated issues, really. But of course, a lot of the box talks of the president, but not solely on his desk. A lot of other things has to also come from. You
remember the mandatory but not compulsory statement?
Yeah, that we can mandate them, but we cannot force them. And talking about the IOCs now supplying.
So that's the IOC now. So is the president going to tell IOCs?
And then all of the BC that we are using crude oil to pay, that is making us not have enough crude supply, is also another conversation. So and we've collected the money. You signed agreements on these things. So
all right, let's go back
it's
to
not as easy.
Let's go back to the front line. But Gege Joshua, it's also very important for you to know that us talking about Dangote Refinery is not us, pitching our tent with Dangote Refinery. It is us pitching our tent with business owners generally in the country.
And why we are focused on Dangote Refinery is that, look, it's a local business, it's owned by a Nigerian, and the implications of that refinery succeeding is failing or succeeding now would have their consequences for Nigerians, whether you like it or not.
Nigeria,
it's effect, yeah.
It's all right. Let's go back to the phone line. Hello, good morning. Please turn off your radio set.
Good morning.
Please turn off your radio.
Yes.
Please turn off your radio.
I turned it off.
Okay, perfect.
All right.
I'm Pastor Gbadamosi from Surulere.
All right. Pastor Gbadamosi.
The Dangote Refinery, there was a time I said, can we nationalize the company? What I said, I think it is impossible. There was my Japan. Okay, I agreed. But Dangote should have done a good, what is called, industry forecast. We normally call it Delphi. What will happen in the next 5 years? What's happening in the industry? What will happen to him if he ever invests that kind of thing? Massive investment in the country. Should have done it. You cannot just rely on, say, assumption. Or anybody. I think it's wrong. It's wrong. They should have done a very good work on that particular industry before embarking on this $1 billion thing. So I really I pity him. I don't know what he's going to do. But if he's told them, give me my money, I want to go. That's even possible. That's even possible. You can't just doing business in Nigeria. What government can do to you? Revenue collection. They borrowed money from the bank, and when these politicians came in, they just
policy somersault, eh?
Yes, policy somersault. This is what's happening in the country. So you should have done a thorough fee of the industry. What will happen to the industry? What will happen to its money? It's a huge investment. What is he going to do now? People have buy stock in that. It's a terrible one. But I strongly that if he's having patience, maybe he can kill. This is stubborn. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. That's another angle. People have bought stocks in that refinery. So there are people that they have shares in that refinery aside from Nigeria. 091360410, 10 minutes past 9, and you're listening to Mainland 98.3 FM. The travails of Dangote in the oil industry and how can we resolve our problem as regards the Nigerian oil sector. Let's have a conversation. We have some WhatsApp messages here. Let's just take one or two and I'll be back to the phone line in a bit. Please stay with us. I have here, good morning, Jᴏɪᴜ Aᴊɪṕ from Maryland is saying, Sandra, is there anything else to say again when Fuad has done a wonderful analysis on everything? However, I think nemesis is at work here. Dangote has always been a monopolist. Many businesses over the years have crumbled because of his huge presence. The chicken has come home to roost. In short, suffice to say that there come a king who does not recognize Joseph. I hope you got the drift. I did. Jᴏɪᴜ Aᴊɪṕ from Maryland, thank you very much. All right, we also have here Noah from Igondo. The Dangote Refinery debacle is a sabotage from the cabal which has been holding Nigeria economic development for years backwards. All the expectations and hope from Nigerians for the effective supply of fuel products at friendly prices seem very dim now. Very unfortunate and sad. Where is Port Harcourt Refinery that was touted for operational commencement by government since last December? The more you look, the less you see things in Nigeria, even with microscope. Noah from Igodo, thank you very much. I appreciate. I think the marketers would know better the pain of the failure of Dangote Refinery. Landing cost is how much?
1,115 or so.
117.
Okay, well, at least over 1,100. That's the figure we have.
So that Joshua, landing cost is 1,117.
It's not a Dangote problem alone, no. It's a Nigerian problem.
Still on Dangote Refinery and the petroleum politics of hide and seek in Nigeria has been a game of the more you look, the less you see. However, this whole thing is fast becoming clearer by the day. There's no much ambiguity in what's going on, just that majority of Nigerians are not critical thinkers. The president has always assumed the position of petroleum minister since 2015, and the country has experienced more problems in that sector more than ever till date. NNPC DPPR is a body under the control of the federal government. Now, had the president complained about the performance of these two agencies, talk less of sacking anybody there for trying to frustrate Dangote and refusal to give him crude? Maybe you don't know Nigeria is doomed already because of neo-colonialism. Think, Nigerians, think. Victor Aloy Igboke.
We are challenged, we are not doomed. We have our challenges, but not doomed.
Well, I don't know. We also need to look at, these loans that we keep getting. Is it that they don't read through these loans? Because there are a lot of things that are embedded in these contracts, that one way or the other encourages some of the challenges that we have in this country.
How transparent are we with these loans? That's the problem. How accountable, how transparent are we with all of these loans?
0913-6000-410. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Sandra.
Hi.
Good morning, Fuad. John from Oba.
Yes, good morning, Mr. John.
You can see why we are here. Somebody is now telling me that can't Dangote communicate with Mr. President that. Are you telling me that the president that is the minister of petroleum, are you telling me that he's not aware? What? Are you telling me that he's not aware of all this thing that is going on? Has he not been listening to what the minister has been saying and what the group manager has been saying, telling Nigerians? And this issue of Dangote, he has come on board and now it's functioning. Does the president not know that it is going to ease the burden of petroleum subsidy? Are you telling me that is somebody? I don't want to mention this guy's name. If you are a member of the party, please tell the party where they are going wrong and where they are doing pretty well. Honestly, I can tell you that this issue of Dangote, whatever NNPC, is beyond the president. I can tell you it's not. No, that's not the truth. It is between us and the colonial masters that has not left on the part western part that is borrowing us money. They don't want Africans, and especially we Nigerians, to get out of the doldrums, economic doldrums. Good morning.
Thank you very much, Mr. John. I appreciate your contribution. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Sandra. Mr. Fuad, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Bumi calling from command.
Yeah, well, welcome, Mr. Bumi.
Soon, that our brother will soon have somebody at his doorstep that we need to come in NMF and that they want to beat him up.
No.
Let's move on. Let's move on.
I'll just comment you.
Okay.
Because the way it's just talk sometimes, you just reason a lot.
What are your thoughts?
Just have your own thoughts.
All right, now, good morning once again.
Thank you.
And this is, I think one of the persons says, the more we look in this country, the more we can even go blind. Somebody can go blind if we continue looking in this country. The best thing is just to keep your head calm sometimes and laugh over it, because it's becoming like a comedy. Are we saying that they don't hear what we are? Even if Dangote is not talking, even if we decide not to talk to the press, so the way that the president is not hearing anything the whole country is saying, that is obvious, because we tell them don't share politics, they will still share it. Don't do this, they will still do it. So that is one thing that is disturbing in this nation. What can we tell them and they will agree? Especially even the so-called followers of that party and everybody that is surrounding himself with the government. They won't say the truth. That's the problem. And even if they see the truth, they will still find their way around to just turn the table and say what is in their own mind. How long would we continue this? It is not a rocket science. There is no way any company will survive this kind of thing. If Dangote, that is a multi-billionaire, can talk like this, just imagine what will happen to one Yalata in one corridor. In the nearest market here, one Alasho in Leku market. This is what we are saying. I'm also a businessman, and I know how the thing has dragged my business to almost ground zero. I can't just be saying what is going on. It has almost dragged my business down to ground zero. Are we going to continue this way? So this is what we are saying. People need to talk straight to the situation and stop beating around the bush. Good morning. God bless this nation.
Thank you. Amen. Thank you very much for sharing your thoughts there. I appreciate it. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Sandra and Fuad.
Good morning, sir.
My name is Fred from Lekki.
You're welcome.
Very well. Good stuff. Okay, so basically, with me, in commodity trade, there needs to be a willing buyer and a willing seller. What we have is a willing buyer, but not a willing seller. So, call it work. End of story. Go to sleep.
So we ask some of the questions: who is this seller? Is it the government? Who owns the national? Who owns the resource called crude? Is it the IOCs or the government? So we need to go back to the PIA. Who owns this resource? Because as everybody has said on the call, if the president is aware, he's the minister, and is aware of all of this, why are we not selling something that's going to be beneficial to the economy, that's going to reduce the burden, that's going to reduce even the trade deficit that we're currently in as a country? Because I believe that crude is a key driver to the cost of many things in the economy, ultimately. So if it's going to be beneficial, why are we not going that route? It's a big issue, So I don't know. That's my thoughts anyway. Good morning.
Right. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for sharing your thoughts. All right.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, my brother, Fouad and
Sandra.
Yeah, Fouad, yes, and Sandra. God bless all of you.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, this is Barrister Peter Oku calling from Mende, Maryland.
You're welcome, sir.
Yes. My take on this issue of Dangote that we're discussing, I feel very sad about it because Dangote is a businessman and Dangote has invested a lot of his personal resources for the growth of Nigeria. Dangote is a nation builder. He didn't just jump from the sky and start benefiting today. I remember that some years ago, Dangote funded the PDP convention under Obasanjo, and even the APC too. They all benefited from the largesse of Alhaji Dangote. So the way he don't deserve this type of shoddy treatment is being given. He is supposed to be given the opportunity to enjoy the fruit of his labor. The mere fact that all the presidents from Obasanjo till now, they have all made themselves ministers of petroleum. Is something Nigerians have to fight very seriously.
Okay. Thank you.
If the president wants to be minister of petroleum, why can't he be minister of agriculture or take care of the security problem that is developing the country? They are not sincere. They are very corrupt. Up to this Tinubu, why did he make himself minister of petroleum?
Thank you, Barrister Peter, for your shot.
And what value has he added as minister of petroleum? He has not added any value. In fact, he has made things worse.
Thank
so
you.
He should resign right away from that ministry.
Thank you for your thoughts. Yes.
Yeah, God bless you. God bless all of you.
Amen.
Yeah,
but we have to be careful with sweeping generalization that they are all corrupt. I think sometimes we have to be careful the way we generalize some of our statements.
I agree. Thank you very much. Let's take some messages from Facebook. We'll be back to the phone line in a bit. We're live on Facebook at Milan 98.3 FM, so you can drop your submissions as well. We're also live on YouTube at Milan 98.3 FM because I realized we got some messages on YouTube on Political Roundtable yesterday. We were not able to take
them. Okay.
Patrick Obiazor on Facebook is saying, in all these needless oil controversies or dance of shame, where is the Minister of Petroleum, whom we understand to be the president? Is he also caged by the smart oil businessmen led by Mele Kyari and his lieutenants? Interestingly, the same Dangote products that were used as a praise-singing collateral for the president by his supporters have today turned to another high-stakes soap opera. Nigerians are not hearing from Bayo Onanuga.
And this one?
Bayo Onanuga's phone should probably be taken by one of his children or something. Should stop tweeting. Because did you follow any of his tweets over the weekend?
Of course, yeah.
Especially as regards the protest.
The protest, it's extremely ridiculous, I must say, but it is what it is.
Is he a spokesperson or is he still a special
advisor? No, he's taking over the entire job. That's why you see.
Or is he Minister of Information?
That's why you see that the only thing Ngilali does now is just to announce appointments at the presidency. But when it comes to really speaking to issues as far as the presidency is concerned. Bayo Onanuga has taken it over. It should be the job of Ingilari.
Special advisor on information and strategy,
communication,
and that's Bayo Onanuga's portfolio, right?
Yeah.
But sometimes it comes off as Minister of Information. Sometimes it comes off as a spokesperson.
No, he does everything now. He just does everything.
Well, Nigerians are not hearing from Bayo Onanuga over this imbroglio. Maybe he's still gathering evidence of Peter Obi's. It's okay. Melekyari and NNPC are now focusing on Dangote's products while leaving out our own unending refineries maintenance, which have become a honeypot for them. We should know that the business world and those beautiful foreign investors that we frequently travel abroad to woo are watching. Thank you.
They are listening and they are watching. Yeah. And reading too.
And reading. Because the Financial
Times
for them.
And they read their local papers too.
Good morning, Sandra and Fuad. It's a shame that Nigeria and its leaders, it's a shame to Nigeria and its leaders what federal government cannot do, nor are looters called politicians. Someone single-handedly built it to benefit Nigerians, but frustration is what Tinubu and his NNPC, etc. are paying back to him. What a shame. That's John Benjamin on Facebook sharing that one. I have Isaiah Kumuyi on Facebook. I really don't want to believe that the mainstream man was speaking the mind of the Tinubu administration. I'd be disappointed if it turns out that the Tinubu government is truly frustrating the Dangote Refinery. President Tinubu should wade into this matter now and make a statement on where he stands. Either he is a promoter of business or the destroyer of same. Ideally, that man should be on suspension and investigation as we speak, because his statement truly reveals the existence of a cabal that is determined to hold the country down. The president must act now and decisively too. So I'm a little bit confused. Who is it, Farouk Ahmed or the spokesman?
Farouk Ahmed. He's talking about Farouk Ahmed. Yeah, he's talking about Farouk Ahmed.
Okay.
Farouk Ahmed. Yeah.
Chika Bende from Trade Fair is saying it is good Dangote and federal government are washing their dirty linen in public, because over the years all the deals they embarked on are shielded in secrecy in expense of generality of Nigerians. So more of the revelation will do Nigeria good. Chika Bende. I also have Almond White saying morning to you guys, because I don't see what is good in the morning. To me, I don't think our refinery is not working, it's just not functioning because of the corruption we have in the oil sector. God will save us one day. We are going out to protest. It's okay. Ahmad White, yes, on Facebook shared that one. Joshua from Oregon. Mr. Fuad, can you now agree with me subsidy wasn't the problem of this country? Imagine these people promising us refinery here and there, yet they can't give crude oil. Okay. These people were hiding underneath the influence of subsidy. Now that subsidy is off the table, hope we can now see clearly that subsidy wasn't the problem. These people just decide to punish a common man by removing subsidy. God will help us. Nevertheless, thank God that a man like Dangote, Nigeria is happening to him. Let him face what we have been facing with his high cost of his own products. Let's go back to the phone line. 0913-6000-410. Hello, good morning.
Morning to you, Sandra. Morning to you for
good morning, sir.
From Yapa.
You're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much. Well, like we are clamoring in Nigeria, when the route is clumsy, we have to find alternative routes. The traffic here is too much. It's about a month ago that I called into this. So let us find another alternative.
Right.
Now, coming to Dangote issue, I expected it is politics. Who is not a cabal from the presidency to Dangote to all the other people we are talking about? It's transitory. What we are passing through is it's only I want to blame the government because they don't make an adequate provision for what they want to transit into. That is just what is happening. Dangote cannot be only businessman that will supply everything in Nigeria. And that is what the government is addressing. And also, they should make provision for the masses not to suffer over this situation.
Right.
That is just it. They should make provision because of the masses and for the economic sake and for the nation's sake. You want to entrench yourself in governance and economy, you remember the masses. The masses should not suffer. When you after all, you say, let the poor be. Are we breathing now? Everybody is choked up by this policy that they are breathing. But without who will fail to plan, we plan to fail. So what we are passing through is not palatable. Let them address. If there should be transparency, call Dangote to table and then address these issues. Right. What is your problem? We know that many of our OC have left the country. 2 of them are only existing now. Can we find alternatives to make available more crude oil to service? Can our own refinery work? Should we not? Can we encourage more SME to thrive?
Thank you.
Those are the situations that the government should address, and they should take it seriously because of the masses and the nation itself to move forward. God bless Nigeria. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate your contribution. Thank you. All right. Hello. Good morning.
Hello, Madam Sandra. Good morning, my sister. And Mr. Fuad, God bless you for your sincere job you are doing in this country.
Good morning, sir.
You see, one thing is sure that this blessed country that God has created wonderfully, you see, there is one adage in the Bible that I read. It says, when a sinner is on the throne or wicked person, people will cry.
Wait. First off, it's okay.
Listen to me. Listen to me.
I will listen to you.
Okay,
can you get to your point, please?
Oh yeah. See, he that knoweth to do good and fail to do it, that person is a sinner. Now, IOC and the members in the elementary or whatever the organization they call NMDPRA, you see, they are just deceiving people. And Tinubu know the vital key that is there. He is the boss. He is the commando there. So the issue is that I'm traveling to abroad. Bring foreigner. Look at our own indigenous producer. They suffer him so that they can what? They can frustrate him so that we cannot even do anything. The issue is that I'm traveling to go and look for foreign investor is just a typical lie, and they are looting money. Sponsoring money abroad.
Thank you.
So just insincerity is the main show. God bless you. Don, calling from Ojota.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Don. I appreciate your contribution. All right. Well, this is still Mainland 98.3 FM. You're listening to Mainland Focus, and we're looking at the hottest topic at this time, where Dangote has been accused of being monopolistic, and he's fighting back now, saying, okay, well, if they accuse me of being monopolistic, then I'm willing to offer up my refinery. Let NNPCL come and buy the refinery. Let them take it off me, and I'm willing to sell it off to them. And also the fact that he has decided to suspend or halt investment in the steel industry. But away from that, the back and forth between the regulatory agencies and the Dangote Refinery has been quite heated up over the weekend, especially with the sulfur content conversation, quality, and all of that. So what's your take on all of these revelations that have been made, either from the federal government or from the regulatory bodies, or even Dangote himself? Let's have a conversation around it. And how do we resolve this issue in the Nigerian oil industry? I have a message here on WhatsApp. It's really long, but I'll just try to rush through. This is Prince from Ojo saying, I am angry, just to say the least. I feel terribly bad after hearing what Malam Farouk of NMDPRA, not NMPC, and his colleagues said against Dangote Refinery in particular. It's a shame to hear all the much said against Dangote Refinery. Will it be wrong to call for... It's all right. We must no longer be taken for granted. It is evident now that cabals have seized the oil sector. We must not allow that. How long shall we be held in bondage in our own country? Enough is enough. Not only Dangote Refinery, but all local refineries should be supplied with sufficient crude to run the refineries. And any international oil company that refuses to supply crude to our local refineries should be given marching orders to leave the shores of our country, Nigeria. Dangote should not be afraid. His refinery and other local refineries will certainly work. Just time. Dangote is a man that should be celebrated. He's a nation builder. We are solidly behind him and in support of a functional Dangote Refinery. That's Prince from Ojo sharing that one. I also have here Mike O from Ikeja Cement. Different problems in Nigeria every day. Please, did the president want to say he did not hear all this Dangote complaining, or do we have people that are bigger than Nigeria? Why can't Mr. President do or say something about this since the day Dangote has been talking about it? Nigerians can never stop dreaming. where are we going in this country? Something we have been waiting for long now happened, and some people are using power to hold it in the name of politics. Please, where are we going in this country? Mike O from Ikeja sharing that one. I also have here, good morning, Sandra. Is NNPC now not a private company? Well, it is. It's now NNPCL. How come they are the ones managing our crude? Well, using our crude oil as collateral for loans for their company, having sold our crude oil in advance. Where is the crude that Dangote Refinery wants to use? Emeka Moses from Lagos. I remember then when, NNPC became NNPCL, Fuad and I were asking who are the board of directors of this company, because this is part of what will now inform whether or not Nigeria, still has one or two, stake.
No, whatever happened at that time does not necessarily mean it's not still a Nigerian company. It's just that it's going to be running as a private entity with all of the structure. But up till now, the board...
You have driven the commission
No. The board has not still been properly constituted as we speak. That's also one question around this entire transition to a limited liability company. The structure of the NNPCL still has a lot of issues unresolved as we speak, because how did the board even come about in the first place?
Is there a board?
Well, there should be a board if it's a limited liability company.
Who are the people?
So we don't know. So it's a lot of...
so it's just Mele Kyari doing things.
Even the transition, was it supposed to be automatic, really? The transition to become the GCO. From GMD, so GCO. Like I said,
still Mele Kyari.
Like someone said, if you overlook into the oil sector in Nigeria, you may get blind. Just try and take your eyes away a bit.
I will not look away.
Continue.
Owen from Lagos is saying it's clear and obvious that these cabals in Nigeria have their own refineries built abroad, and they want the status quo to remain, and also lack of transparency from our own public office holders will not allow room for accountability. And that is Owen from Lagos sharing his own thoughts there. Well, let's go back to the phone line. Please, remember Dangote was denied opportunity to purchase Kaduna Refinery then. Same cabals were still at play, but it's a bit late for them. As for monopoly issue, definitely some industry calls for limited monopoly, and Dangote Refinery in this case is not. It's better than allow important and encourage Dakpa syndrome. Gafar sharing that one there. 0913 6000 410. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Sandra.
Good morning.
Good morning, Sandra. Mr. Abba, good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, Dangote from Malaba.
You're welcome.
Thank you, sir. Honestly, I don't know. Each time I listen to Gigi, it reminds me of this guy.
Just go straight to your own.
Okay.
Your submission. Thank you.
Okay. Because I remember Ben from Lekki Day, but no problem.
Leave
now, okay. The thing is just that Dangote will be accused of many things, because we are not just well as a country. How many senators are into oil business? How many ministers are into oil business? Mr. President is Minister of Petroleum. Automatically, he is into business. He is into oil business as well. When we're talking about that's what they call them mafia. I used to call them on this platform. I call them a ghost and spirit. Now they are coming up gradually. In fact, with time now, we are going to actually get the list of those actually, Mele Kyari actually got the list. Who knows? A lot of them actually in that sector. The only way out of this thing is just that I don't know how it's going to happen. I think revolution is the only way out of these problems. If we bring out all the documents of NNPC, what we are going to be hearing from those things, or we're going to read out, but many people will run mad. Because the fact is still that right from time of Buhari, a lot of billions we pay on subsidy. That's how you remember. Billions. People still never see penny. Abiola said it then, and they never see partnering with that. For how long? NNPCL, who are those directors? Who actually, in fact, which process they actually go through? And where do we have Mele Kyari, be at the head of that sector now? Who retain him for what purpose? Let someone tell us now. Day by day, things are not working in the country. What is the problem? Do we actually call ourselves unfortunate because we belong to this country? Is it a crime to be in Nigeria? Let's wake up and do the needful.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Damlola from Alaba. I just got this report. I just thought to quickly, put it out there. Berger to 7 Up is completely blocked, and that's inward, Lagos now. So let's see how we can to for alternative.
Sandra, I don't know what's going on.
Doyala is being fixed. That's why.
What exactly is being fixed there? Because again, what needs to be fixed on that Odolayo is the joining. You know, that edge, that joining of the bridge that keeps opening up. I thought that was the most important thing to be fixed. But whatever is going on, there's terrible traffic now in that entire axis, overstretching to
and
Lagos Ibadan Expressway.
The unfortunate thing now is for 90 days. That's 3 months.
3 months. What are they fixing, really?
That's 3 months. Oh my goodness.
The information was so shoddily done. We don't have the exact work that is going on in that place.
Well,
and
motorists
for 3 months, we're going to go through that.
Are being advised. Let me just quickly take that, just because a lot of people are in their cars at the moment.
Wondering what's happening.
So there are alternative routes that have been mapped out. Well, and what we have is Ibadan Expressway, Alakpere, Ogudu, Bagada, Third Mainland Bridge, Anthony Okerodu Road. I'm sure probably by Milan Metro by 1 p.m. would give more updates so that and then today is Monday, so I can't even begin to imagine the frustration going through a lot of Lagosians' mind at this time. But just as Fuad also mentioned, the announcement and everything that went into the planning of all of this may or may not have caught quite a lot of people unawares. So please, going forward, it's for 90 days, so you may want to have to make for the next 3 months all your plans, whatever it is that you're doing. They are fixing Odorialaro is in Ikorodu.
No, it's this Ikorodu bridge. This one by Ojota, just from here to Ojota, from Maryland to Ojota.
This linking bridge from Maryland to Ojota. It's been disjointed.
That's the point, and I don't think that should take 90 days, unless because what we are seeing
because
is
there will still be traffic. Maybe that's why.
No. What we're seeing
are cars still going to be on that road?
Again, we'll find out.
They've closed it off.
They've closed. What they have done is that they are diversion, so it's going to be like one lanes on both sides, so you can move into the different lanes. And what we're getting from the way the whole thing is structured is that they may be doing some form of resurfacing of the entire bridge. I'm like, what's the big deal? What are they resurfacing? The bridge is not bad. The major point is the joining, where it keeps opening up.
Keeps opening up, yes.
But again, we'll really find out what we'll be taking them a whole 3 months to fix.
90 days. That's 3 months, to fix that place, and that's it's very important for a lot of people, especially those that want to travel from.
Even now that fuel is so expensive, you have to waste a lot of fuel in traffic and
New Garage. Those that are trying to link Oregon, those that are going to K2.
Well, they've created alternatives.
Those going to Ikorodu. So you may just want to pay attention to the traffic advisories. We'll be sharing them. I'm sure Amida is also trying to gather information on that particular one. So stay tuned to Milan 98.3 FM. We'll try to gather as much as possible as regards alternative routes for you as during this very unfortunate Odorialaro reconstruction. This is still Milan 98.3 FM. We have just a few minutes to go. I'll just quickly take 1 or 2 calls to wrap things up. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, here.
All right.
The conundrum between federal government, Dangote, and NMPC calls for a lot of introspection. Because we look at it deeply, what I can see in all of this is politics, and I'll explain myself. Dangote a monopoly, far from it, because other people were also giving licenses to do. So we can't ever blame him for that. Now, the kind of statement made by NMDPRA or whatever.
Yeah, NMDPRA.
Yes. Very unfortunate and uncalled for. It shouldn't have been made. But this is what I see in all this. It's a fight for pricing, and it's also a fight for market share. Federal government, NMDPRA is trying to force on Dangote a certain price. Dangote isn't happy with that. But the thing there is that Dangote presently provides diesel, which has high sulfuric content. In order to bring that down to meet NMDPRA's PPMC, from 200 to 650 is large. That is a bargaining chip for NMDPRA to force Dangote to do what they want. On the other side of it, Dangote also probably expects some tax breaks from government. Can government provide that for him or not? Well, we'll wait to see. But with everything that's happening, it's most likely not going to happen. So if you look at the whole conundrum between the whole lot of them, they all still need to find a place to sit down and discuss this matter. But Dangote will continue to be our doyen in the industry. He will continue to be the face of Nigeria, because without Nigeria, there is no Dangote, and without Dangote, there is no Nigeria. So we must find a place where everybody can sit and understand. And lastly, quickly, as regards the ownership and all of that,
people need to understand that saying that 7.2% is what NNPC owns is factual, because it's talking about the total ownership, and that's about 19 to 20 billion. Nigeria only paid $1 billion out of 2.7, which was 37% of 2.7. So if you take that 1 billion to look at the total ownership, it goes to 7.2. So he's correct at saying what he said. Thank you very much, and God bless.
I think we've highlighted that really, that we're only able to do $1 billion. But there are two issues Mr. Olakunle mentioned now that is not in the public space, and Dangote has not even discussed that. NNPCL has not even talked about that. The first one is the issue of pricing, whether there's a price war or there's something the NNPCL wants him to do with his pricing. That's not been put on the table, so we don't know. We'll just assume it's not impossible, but it's not on the table. And nobody's talking about it yet. The issue of tax breaks too. Dangote has not said he's looking for tax breaks. I think the major conversation we have here is in getting crude oil supply.
Supply of crude.
Those can be some other issues, but they are not on the table for now.
Supply of crude.
That's the only thing he's been talking about.
Oh, it's really unfortunate that we couldn't take as much, contributions, as many as possible, rather. But then, as we always say, the conversation never ends. It never ends. It continues. Although by 4 p.m. today, where we'll be discussing with Steve Aluko, civil organizations boss, civil society organization boss, as regards the protest and all of that. But as regards this oil conversation, is definitely still an ongoing one that we're definitely going to have here on Mainland FM. Thank you very much, Fuad Zahid, for your time. I'd like to sincerely apologize if we're not able to take your message or if we're not able to take your call. We sincerely apologize. But of course, as we always say, the conversation continues. We'll be back by 10 a.m. for Global View as we look at the Democrats' chances at the November 4th elections this year at this time now, especially with the endorsement. Obama didn't endorse Kamala Harris. Apparently, he's calling for an independent primary,
which I think makes a lot of sense. But again, one would expect that Biden would endorse. He's vice president,
which was what we expected last 2 years ago. But it's fine. Let's move away from it.
From who?
From a certain president here in this country.
Threw the man under the bus.
He flung him under the bus. All right. Please stay tuned. We'll be back by 10 a.m. for Global View. This is still Mainland 98.3 FM.